Welcome back. So, history of this Jeep has been revealed. This is very rare. So, I've done a video talking about the things this Jeep doesn't have, which is the French contract numbers, the malt plate, all the usual stuff. And then I joined a French Hotchkiss M201, as they're known, M201 page, and with a bit of Google Translate I put up my post. Does anyone know what these Jeeps are, with the blue paint underneath, etc, etc, and reading from my phone, I'll post it up. There you go. Hello, I have already identified 6 C201s, C for civilian. Serial numbers 27949, 27972, mine, 27979, 27989, 27996 and 27997. It'd be interesting to know the frame number, which is located on the front right exterior side of the chassis. Perhaps a number close to MB115. And I know I was looking in the wrong place when I was looking previously. There it is there, I've clear lacquer sprayed it. You see the photo? There it is, MB112. That's the confirmation of what this is. Confirmation, should I say. So I'd asked, you know, where are all the other Jeeps now? So he got back. 27949 is in France after being purchased from Hotchkiss. So someone obviously has the Hotchkiss name still, even though the company closed. 979 is also in France. She's ex-Togolese Army Forces. 989 is in Japan. 996 is in France, and 997 is part of civil security in France. So there's 6 of these Jeeps known. And the year of circulation is 949, 972, 979, 989 were all made in 1969, so 4 of them were made in 1969, including this one. And then 996 and 997 were made in 1970. So there you go. Confirmation, it is a C201. Bit disappointed I've not got one with military history. However, plenty of the World War II built Jeeps have no military history. A lot of them were just on air bases and the likes, as John's 1945 one was. So it's good to know some of the history, and I've got a lot more to do, because we do know this came into the UK in July or August 2005. That's when it was registered with as JNP 739C registration. So it's given us 65 registration, even though it's actually been made in 69. So that's the story, that these were built at the end of, before closure of the Hotchkiss factory. There must have been 6 chassis still sitting. They built them up, they painted them blue, and they gave them to directors of the company as a thank you. And that's all I know on that end of the story. I know it was down in near Andorra, this Jeep, and then it went to Bordeaux. So, and then it's come to the UK, and I think I'm the 3rd or 4th owner. So I've got a name there of one of them, one of the first owners, and he might be the guy who brought it in and sold it on, because he only had it a month. But interesting history. So if you are at all interested in finding out about these M201s, you've got to buy this book by Pat Ware, and it is the only, or that was the first English book written on the M201s, and it's fascinating. So hopefully he doesn't mind me. I'm just going to share some of the photos that you'll see now, and it's fascinating history because it tells about how, I've wrote some notes down. Give me a second, get the old specs on again. Can't help these things really. So So from 1955, those 465 Jeeps, first of all built in France under patent of Willys, and these were actually CJ3s. Because remember, at the end of World War II, Willys, Ford went back to cars, Willys started producing civilian Jeeps, and they first of all transformed the last military bits and bobs into a civilian Jeep before they set up and started manufacturing the CJs. And there was then, over in France, they were building civilian Jeeps in France while they were rebuilding. The Hotchkiss company had the contract for these Jeeps. So 22,000 US Jeeps, as I say, were gathered just outside Paris. The Hotchkiss car company was given the contract. This roughly, those 10,000 were actually rebuilt and put into military use. So while the CJ2A was actually built by the Hotchkiss under contract, there was 70 only made because they didn't sell, because you could buy a war Jeep so cheap. There was a whole load of Delavere, Peugeot, they all made prototype army vehicles. You'll see the photos out of Fatware's book here. And none of them made the grade. None of them could do what the Willys could already do, and they had so many parts. It was a sort of no-brainer for the French military to keep rebuilding basically the Willys MB. Obviously they went 24 volt, as you know. They kept the Go Devil engine until the last 2 years production, where they put Peugeot diesel engines in. And you'll see all the variants in this book. It's a brilliant book. I've still to read it all properly. It takes a few reads to process all this stuff. But there you go. I have now the only C201 Jeep in the UK. So does that mean I start a Facebook group, but I'm only going to be the only one on it? I'm not bothered. So in other things, I am going to, next week, as we know, 6th of June, 80th anniversary. I know I wasn't going to paint it, but for £6, can I turn down a star? So that'll be another film. Get a star on, got side ones, and we've got a bumper one. Stick them on for D-Day, and I've got something a bit different. I know it's an M21 when I've got a C21, but it's M21, and that's my serial number on my frame. So you'll see a film of me sticking that on. I need to reuse that on both sides. I need to keep that. With the long term, folk were asking, am I going to put this back to blue, the civilian Jeep? No. I want to, and probably will this winter, maybe this winter, I'll see. I want to paint a desert. I've always wanted a desert Willys MB. I think watching SS Rogue Heroes, we've maybe done that. So anyway, another news, I've raked out all the original parts that came with the Jeep. So it came, now they're in a bag up in the loft, but I've got all the original seats, which are a plastic material like this, and that's the original plastic hood. So these were put on them from 1970 onwards when they started doing their factory rebuilds. And that's side panels which go for the pillions at the back. They're not doors, they're behind the doors. There's original Hotchkiss style blackout light, as you can see. That's a pattern one of the wartime style. Things evolve as you own them, and this one's changed a lot. That's the original windscreen, they go in there, and obviously it had the electric windscreen wiper, which always smelled like it was going to go on fire. So these replace, obviously I've put them on. I'm quite happy to leave it as exactly it is. There's a kilometre speedo as well, which is hilarious because it only goes from there down to about there, compared to putting a mile per hour one on. As you can see, it goes all the way around. Anyway, that's some history of this Jeep. So yeah, I own the only civilian Hotchkiss 201 in the UK. So the one in Japan, this one, and 4 in France. Now, so much has obviously been changed on this with so many owners, and I'll change it again as well and enjoy it. And I'm not selling it, by the way. I'm not selling it. I don't care if somebody wants it for a collection. I'm not selling it. I don't know if it's worth any more. I'm not really interested in all that. I know I paid a lot of money for it, but it was a lifetime dream to own one. So you know what? Let's go out for a quick drive. Alright, see you in a bit. Cheers.